good leader is someone that people want to look up to, someone that gives off an aura of confidence that people can look up to, and that is what makes people attracted to those kinds of people, and makes those kind of people want to follow, or makes people want to follow those kinds of people. A good leader is also someone that is going to show the people that look up to them, like the right way to live.
For one, having something to lead, and two, having things that challenges your leading.
I think what makes a good leader is humility, just because I think it's really important for a leader to be humble and listen to everyone else's opinion in every situation.
I feel like a good leader is someone who, I guess, just like takes the next step as far as like other people, like they do stuff that other people don't want to do.
I think my definition of a good leader is somebody who isn't afraid to, stand up and, for what they believe in and take charge. Somebody who inspires other people because of what they do naturally, and they don't have to try to pretend to be somebody else to be a leader. I think that there's a lot of different kinds of leaders. Like, there's people who are, born to be leaders, like Obama or whatever, of like a giant country. And then there's like little leaders of different things. Like Ori's a, more of a silent leader, where he brings like a lot of his friends and stuff to Collision. And I think there's everybody's a leader, but on a different level, and everybody's a follower, but each on a different level.
I think a good leader is someone who's patient and kind, but yet firm and kind of blunt, I guess I would say. Someone who's respected and can respect people back, and knows their own beliefs, because without that, then you can't really be a leader for other people.
I would say there are a couple things that I look for in a good leader, and as I try to be a good leader, I think number one, it's honesty. It's the ability to say, this is where I struggle in life. These are things that I don't have the best time with. These are things that I'm going through right now. Another thing that I find really important in leaders, especially male leaders, is a total dependency on Christ. I think in our society, men have to be strong, have to be stoic, have to be self-sufficient, have to be, all these perfect things that none of us can, reach. And I feel like a good leader, especially in the church, has to be aware and acknowledge the fact that I am nothing without Jesus.
The way I've grown as a leader is the ministry gave me an opportunity to go on a mission trip to New York, where I had to learn how to be patient with little kids, and also how to be firm and say no sometimes. So that was a struggle, because I tend to be a people pleaser a lot.
The ways that I've grown as being a leader at Collision is, well, I started coming, and I didn't even want to come because I didn't know anybody. And I had one friend, and that was Maddie Doro, and I'd call her every morning before church to see if she was going, because if she wasn't, then I didn't want to go to church. And I was at first really scared, but as soon as I went on that first missions trip, I really started to get plugged in with a lot of the community there, and I started making a lot of friends, and that was a really great thing and a life-changing trip for me. And then I'd been learning how to play guitar, and I wanted to play in the worship band because that's something I'd always wanted to do. And the first time I played, Greg said, you can do it, you can try it out, and I just sucked, and it was just terrible. And I remember afterwards, Greg said, why don't you take some lessons, and then you can come back and play. And that was, I think it really helped me build in confidence, and just kind of to be able to be more comfortable with myself, and learn how to lead people with my music. And I mean, Greg just he kept giving me opportunities, and he kept letting me do it. And finally, I was playing guitar on Wednesday nights, and then one summer I remember he asked me to lead worship on Sunday mornings, and I started doing that, and ever since I've still done all that, and that has really just helped me grow just as a leader in music. And that's one of the things that I think I want to do with my life now. And if I would have never come into Collision, then I would have never been able to grow with that, and I wouldn't have this community that I have now, because everywhere else that I've been, it's felt like home to a certain extent, but not like it has a Collision, because I just have a family there, and I know that people love me and they care about me, and I can really be myself there more than anywhere else that I know.
Leadership has kind of been thrust upon me, especially over the last couple of years. And I think just through experience, I've become a better leader. And because I had some really big self-esteem issues in middle school, especially, and I started coming this youth group about 8th grade, and kind of since then, through just coming and being a part of this ministry, and going on the missions trips, I've really I've experienced some different things. I've kind of been forced into some awkward situations, where I've been forced to pray for a big group, or I've been forced to give a sermon, or just kind of give a devotion to a big group. At first it was really uncomfortable, but now kind of realize it's kind of become almost easy for me. And when I do stop to look around, I've got all these kids looking up to me. So I guess what's made me a better leader is just being thrown into those situations and kind of being forced to be a leader.
6th grade, I got to go into the youth group, and actually my 4th time actually going to Collision, there was an announcement of a mission trip, so I was like, oh cool, mission trip, Mexico. And going on the trip was a lot of fun. It was a good experience, but getting to the trip was really hard. I was really scared. I battled with going and not going quite a bit, back and forth. One week I'd go, the next week I'd say I wasn't and not go to the meeting, and then the next week I was at the meeting, and just back and forth until that trip actually came. And 2 years after that, I was the only one to go on a mission trip from the Inglewood campus. So Inglewood has definitely changed me from being scared to go on a mission trip to being the only one and wanting to go on a mission trip the most. And that's kind of, in a sense, I guess, leading, because this last trip we went on, a lot more people came. I kind of wonder if I kind of led people to do that or not.
I've grown in Collision and in this trait through some group discussions, just because a lot of times, you think of some people as being smarter than others or something, but that's not always the case in a group discussion, because I've heard some really wise things come out of people that I really didn't think were all that smart. So I think it's really important for you to be humble and realize that you're not smarter than everyone else.
I think I've grown just as far as just like my people skills, and just like, I guess, getting more comfortable with taking the extra step. Like, it's easier to just go and do stuff that like I may not want to do, but like it's for a good reason, or it's for like helping people out, or just like for God kind of things. And I feel like ever since I've been here, that I've just been tested, to get out of your comfort zone and just go do stuff, and to like not think about like what other people think. It's like, because it's not what other people think, it's like what God thinks.
I did an internship under Greg, and I learned, as I was learning to be a leader, I think the biggest way that I grew is just watching Greg take responsibility. There was something about the way that he and other leaders also were taking responsibility and acknowledging, hey, this went wrong and this was my fault, or hey, this happened and here's how we can fix that. And so as a leader, as I mentioned, I feel like a lot of times we have this unknown responsibility of we have to be perfect and we can't make mistakes. And something that I learned and I've grown from as a leader is it's perfectly okay and acceptable to make mistakes, as long as we can own up to those things.